righty. What is going on, everyone? And welcome back to Mets Weekly. We are live at this very moment on YouTube and on X for the latest news and rumors all off season long in Mets land, and no time of the day will ever stop us. We are live right now past 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. It is 1 o'clock for you as you are on Central Time. But the Mets have re-signed left-handed pitcher Sean Manaea to a 3-year, $75 million contract. All of the other details are still unknown, but given the hint of all the details that have spilled out, I would say that this most likely is fully guaranteed. And Sean Manaea now rejoins the Mets rotation, which we knew that there was definitely a lot of work that had to be done in this offseason. We'll talk about other stuff regarding the offseason in episode number 107 of the podcast that we'll be doing technically later today at 7 p.m. So when it comes to Sean Manaea, we knew that there was interest. We knew that the Mets gave him the qualifying offer. They will end up not getting giving him the qualifying offer and instead giving him $25 million a year on this pitching market. Andrew, what is your full-on take on this one? Also, welcome back. It's been a while since you've been on here. So what do you think about Sean Manaea? What is this? The acknowledge him thing? I really don't know it, but what's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, of course, leave it to David Stearns to have to make deals at butt fuck o'clock. But hey, it's something, I guess, at the point. Yeah, again, if you look at what the market is and where the market's going, I mean, honestly, you could look at this as it's a little more than a qualifying offer this year. What a qualifying offer probably is going to be next year, and less than a qualifying offer is going to be in that third year, with the qualifying offer continuing to go up and up and up. And for a guy, again, we've said in the market, it's Nathan Eovaldi got 2 years at $50 million, $25 million AAV. You get a younger Nathan Eovaldi, which you can make your consideration if you think Nanai is better. It's worst case they're comparable pitchers. You add an extra year, and for my fear of, I thought he would easily have gotten a 4-year deal somewhere else, and I didn't think the Mets would go to 4 years. I think they were in the ballpark for 3 to pay him to his age 35 season, and that was it. And again, the AAV, which is, again, I've made very clear I don't care about AAV. I'm more scared of term, like most people. And the Mets, again, they get a perfect term and they get a perfect AAV. It's kind of spot on. Am I a little shocked? Sure, but again, maybe this culture that we're bringing in, hey, bringing back his good buddy Frankie Montas. They get to reunite back in a bigger market, so comfortability and maybe that firing delivery can be sustained. Again, there is some injury concern that you can drastic arm slot could potentially down the line cause some injuries. We'll see. But again, it's a perfect AAV. It's a perfect term of the deal for a guy who can fit into that. I wouldn't say, again, it's still hard for me to say, oh, he's a top of the rotation guy. Yes, he pitched in the second half with the delivery like that. He still doesn't have the longevity of that. But again, to have a guy, how I look at it is, can I trust this guy to make a playoff start? He can do that and, build a team good enough to get to the trade deadline. This is a necessary arm at the top of this rotation. So again, it's a good fit. Again, maybe this culture of the Jeremy after pitching lab, maybe bringing him back. But again, it's kind of just a perfect all-around deal. Nothing out of this world where it's like, oh my God, this is horrific, which there was some fear in me that maybe he gets to 4 years. Again, we'll wait and see. Maybe there's options, but the fact that Heyman put it out, and usually Heyman's the type of guy that would put out the information if there's options or not. There wasn't. So again, if it's that, it's below what everyone expected, and I think his projections were pretty similar. So again, it's a good overall deal, and again, the Mets get a much needed, 2 in the rotation.
Yeah, I think that if you want to talk about regressing to the means, because again, Sean Manaea did have a big bounce back season that he did. I think that in a playoff rotation, he's number 3. But when it comes to the overall rotation as a whole, let's just say that there are going to continue to be question marks of some reclamation projects. And I personally think that that's a safer bet than going out and getting a legitimate arm. At this point, with what this pitching market is, I actually believe that going out And going out for a reclamation project is more smart than giving 8 years to a Corbin Burns or giving 5 years to Blake Snell. I do believe that that is a lot smarter for a more sustainable team. Does it make the team look flashy? Does it make it look like a good fantasy team? Absolutely not. And there's going to be another free agent that we're going to discuss later today, technically, on the podcast, which I believe is more of just a name that they should not include. But in regards to the pitching rotation, I think we all had some of the concerns it was talked about before of, the arm slot not being something that can sustain. Maybe there is some injury concern in that regard, which is one of the main reasons as to why I hope that this third year has like some kind of option or some kind of vet. Like I hope it is. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a full 3 hard years. But if it ends up being like that, more props to Stearns either way. $25 million to a number 3 starter when your number 1 starter, even though there is a question with his health, is making $15 million a year, and that's a lot different, to the usual number 1 starting pitcher, unless they're on a rookie deal. I think that this is a really good. I really do think that this is a really good stepping stone as to where the Mets really needed to replace those innings that they got from Manaea, that they got from Severino, that they got from Quintana, who I believe passed the 180 threshold. But when it comes to Sean Manaea, the man was a workhorse all year. He's been healthy for a majority of his career. He's had a few dang-ups. Strikes out batters, able to go deep into games. Hopefully we see that. I'm looking at Fangraphs as of right now, and it looks like Griffin Canning was moved to the bullpen with this addition to Sean Manaea, even though I do believe they're going to go with the 6-man rotation because of Kodai Senga, his health, and what he's used to in Japan, which is why I do believe that the Mets are holding out for another starting pitcher that is on the market right now that they could obviously get for a very decent margin, but we'll see what happens. I do think that the Mets probably are going to be in the market for another starting pitcher, whether it is on the trade market or whether it is signing someone. But I do think that that one is probably going to have to wait for a little bit. Now, let's get into the chat for a second. Explosive coming in saying, damn you guys up. Absolutely. Nothing will keep us asleep. Nothing will keep us nothing will keep us asleep like Mets news. Sorry, it's late. It's late. Okay, we will always be awake for Mets news, no matter what. I think we all really have put the full commitment into it. If you guys remember us going live at 3:30 in the morning for Carlos Correa. Nothing can bring us down. Nothing can make us wait. We want to talk about it instantly, no matter how tired we may be. Picked a hell of a time for the news. Yep, definitely. Nice deal for both coming in for Dwayne. Thank you very much. For those of you who are new, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications. We will be going live later on in the day, technically, because it is Monday, for episode 107 of our podcast, which is the usual scheduled programming. But during the off season, we are usually going live for breaking news. My guy Matt coming in here, who was on our stream when we talked about Griffin Canning, along with his co-host Evan from Mets Central, saying love the deal, perfect amount of years, and a $25 million AAV is fair. I thought the AAV was going to be higher for a 3-year deal, but I'm happy to be wrong. Welcome back, Sean. Absolutely. $25 million is pretty much right on the dot for a number 3 starter these days. That's pretty much what the market is. I think that's the exact same contract as the Bassett contract, correct? Is that right?
As of, again, I was checking the AAVs and where he ranks for starting pitchers. He's now tied for the 9th highest AAV to a pitcher, tied with Nathan Eovaldi, Sonny Gray, and Jordan Montgomery, higher than Aaron Nola, Luis Severino, and Luis Castillo. So he's he's top 10 for AAV for a starting pitcher. Bassett is at 21.
Okay. So he was 63 million then, or
Yeah.
63 million total. Yeah. Okay. D Savage coming in here. Let's go. Absolutely. Christ is my savior coming in here. Frank saying, let's go with a bunch of fire emojis. Saying Alonzo is next. That's another story, of course, that we'll get into on the podcast later on today, technically, if you want to say that. I think this hurts the chances of Pete coming back. I don't believe that. We'll get into that again, more of substance. But I think that they all really had their eye on spending money on starting pitching of what they have accoladed in that sense. And I think that they did save a decent amount with the pieces that they brought in here. Right now, we will see what the deal is. I do have a full rundown of the Mets payroll. I will add in the Sean Manaea money and talk about the current situation that they are in. But I do think that they will be okay in that sense. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll get into that. Let's see. Oh, Sweet Samoa. Is that that's a Manaea reference? Is that something?
Yeah,
I just don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Explosive saying Joey Wendell next. I don't know what he's next for. We love Oakland pitchers. Yep. Absolutely. I feel like this is McGill is the odd man out. I think McGill was the odd man out as soon as they signed Canning. I think that McGill, most likely, who is going to be tendered a contract, or maybe he does get traded. I don't know, because he's a cost-controllable starter. I think he's pretty much destined to start off in AAA if he's not going to be in the bullpen, which I do think that they're going to at least add a few relief arms. I think that they'll make a major league addition to the bullpen, maybe two in that regard. I think that that's probably going to be something that they consider. Now get Castillo and we'll be in good shape. Boy, I would love that to happen, but we will see what happens. Our guy Subway to Shea, Anthony Rivera, another great fellow podcast in the Mets community, saying, I'm going to wait for Carson and Rhino, and he's pointing up, which I believe is the ref. I don't know the reference, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pretend like I do like this. I mean, I just don't know it. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not really in tune with this. I apologize.
Okay, here you go. I got you. This will put. I'll put it in a baseball reference. He's like the guy that they're comparing to is just like Luis Ariz. He's extremely overrated. But again, put the ones up. Just keep it that way.
Okay. Basically. Okay, I get it. All right. Well, Manaea is definitely not overrated.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Exactly.
The Hawaiian volcano is back.
That's a good one. I like that one a lot.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. I will prefer a signing of Tanner Scott instead of Pete. Actually, we'll get into that in a second. Let's see. And Big Meat, yes, he is. Yeah, okay. Don't disrespect her. I just don't know anything about it. Okay.
That's more. I think that's more than me. I think that was more to me. Yeah, that's more. I know what I did there, and I was hoping to get the reaction. So yeah.
No, okay. I don't know the reference. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's my wrongdoing, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Just make sure I'm adding this in correctly.
Still nothing from no opt-outs or anything, so it still looks 100%.
Yeah, it most likely it's fully guaranteed. And you know, we'll get a little bit more into what else the Mets can do this off season, but this one will put the Mets payroll plus tax bill, because it's going to be
well, they had after Soda, they had like 50 something till the third, the Cohen tags. So subtract 20, so you got still 25 million before you can even get to the Cohen tags. I think they play it back.
So it's 12% of So it's 12% of it's now 12% of the payroll. So it would be I actually have to add this in. That would be My apologies.
Still nothing. Again, it's also 2:30 Eastern time. I don't think Rosenthal.
Yeah, that's okay. I think they're at 283 million is the total payroll plus the tax.
So they got like 20 million to that third Cohen to the Cohen tax threshold. So you still got again. That's Alonso money. That's $4 or $5 million relievers. That's Jesse Winker plus
you also
a high
still have the
leverage
pre-arbitration salaries too. So I mean,
again,
and the arbitration salaries too.
Again, they're going to go over the Cohen. We know they're going over.
Oh, so no, they're going to blast by it. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm not even. Again, I'm saying you still got Alonso plus money, and you even with again the pre-arb guys and the arbitration cases, you're still you're going to be probably sitting by 330. Would be my final guess. So you still got a ton of room if they want.
Yeah. So it's two. Yeah. So it's 283 at this current moment is what they are at. Glad they got Manaea back. Yep, absolutely. It's a shame Christian Scott is out for the year. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a hit to the rotation. It's probably the main reason as to why they're kind of building this thing up with quantity to keep some of these guys healthy. Because I do think a 6-man rotation benefits pretty much everybody that they have containing into this rotation. You don't know who hit a wall going into the postseason last year. And Sean Manaea was actually a little bit vocal about that, about hitting a wall. So maybe that extra day of rest here and then with a 6-man rotation probably could help him out. We already know Senga every 6 days is probably preferable for him since he's used to doing that in Japan. We also do have, the workup of Brandon Sproat. Maybe he is a factor. You never know. The Mets are definitely building up this pitching depth of guys who can possibly make starts. It seems like they are looking to prevent that situation that Andrew really, really hates, where Tyler McGill is considered the pitching depth outside of one injury, which we always seem to get at spring training. So, David Peterson was part of that conversation after finally having a productive year and putting himself into that rotation. But Tyler McGill did not. And Tyler McGill seemed to be like that sixth starter the first guy you call up from AAA, and he seemed to go up and down from AAA to the major leagues. But yeah, we'll see.
And again, just the day that, if I got to see Tyler McGill in April, I'm going to throw hands.
Listen, Robert, you are preaching to the choir here. I think that they do dump one of them. I don't know which one it's going to be, but they are going to have to cover a decent amount of that salary. So we'll see what happens there. But clearing those two up can definitely be something they can do. And then starting Acuna, I think that he's earned the right to play for the job. Of course, it was a small sample size that he brought in the major leagues, but we'll see in spring training. I think that he'll get a chance to get a crack at the job. We know that Ronnie Mauricio will be seeing him back this year. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to be completely healthy, but we will see. There's still McGill and Blackburn and Holmes. Yeah, Holmes is definitely going to get a rotation spot. If not, he's going to be moved to the bullpen. We know that the first guy that gets called up from AAA right now probably ends up being Tyler McGill, but if there are a few trial and errors there, eventually you might see Brandon Sproat if he continues to actually progress in AAA, because we know that he struggled in a few AAA starts that he had towards the end. But, we'll see what happens in regards to that. What do you think is more likely at this point, Pivetta or Buehler? Considering the draft pick, I'm not saying draft pick haul, but like the draft pick compensation that they have to give up, even in regards to the fact that they already did give up a draft pick signing Juan Soto. Obviously, with more emphasis on building up this farm. And to be honest, a lot of the pieces in this farm are really not that good. It's a different conversation. I don't think Pivetta is very possible. I'd love Pivetta, so I'd say Buehler is more possible. I'm not a fan of Walker Buehler. I've been vocal about that for a long time. Haven't been a fan of Walker Buehler since he came to the league. I think that there's a lot of flaws there. Right now for different reasons. But we'll see what happens. I think Buehler's a little bit more likely, but I think that there is one guy that they're seeing as kind of an added bonus to the rotation. And if not, they'll probably end up pivoting with another rotation move at the deadline if they are in contention, which hopefully they are, considering the big splash that they just made signing Juan Soto. So hopefully something pans out there. We will talk, guys. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about, Vlad Jr. and what's it called? Pete Alonso in the chat. We'll get into that a lot more in our podcast later on today. So we'll see what happens. I think that, again, there's a lot of quantity in this rotation now. There's a lot of quantity with pitching options. Maybe it gets a little bit deeper in regards to talking about like Jose Budo. I don't know if they want to regard him as a starter. I personally think it's more better fit in the bullpen. But we'll see what happens there. But again, I like the fact that they re-signed Sean Manaea. This is exactly what I would have done. There's some directions that, there's some directions that Stearns goes in that I understand. But like, I'm not really fully, invested in it. But when it comes to Sean Manaea, this was the 100% guy I was willing to bring back. Out of all of our free agents, he was the guy that I wanted to retain. And that even goes after Pete Alonso. So we'll see. Canning has a lot of potential with this pitching lab. I will be issuing an apology about Canning on our show later today, technically, because at face value, to be honest, at base, let's just say, of what I was looking at when they signed him, I wasn't that impressed. Then I got to study a little bit in my free time, and now I'm like, okay, this makes sense. It's not amazing, but you never know. This move makes us better now. We need Pete and Saki. I think Sasaki is who he's saying. Yeah, we'll hopefully. That's what we look at. I like Sean a lot. Thanks for hosting this so late. We need some news and good news at that. Absolutely. Listen, no matter what. 24/7, and we mean it, 24/7 of the New York Mets, no matter what condition that we are in. If we're all in the hospital, we will stream from the hospital. That's our thing. Oh yeah, well, you don't have that type of drive. He's the lazy one. So he's like, oh, I'm up. I'll join.
Yeah,
that was the conversation. I said,
and I was,
join?
He's
like,
well, no,
I guess so.
I mean, I'm bullying you because your team, she's kind of dog cheeks, and I was bullying. And of course, this is the way to get back. I mean, the Mets need to sign somebody at 1 a.m.
This is okay, yeah. I want to talk about that. All right, I just don't want to talk about that. You know why I don't want to talk about that? Because I don't want to talk about it. Okay, I'm already pissed off as it is. All right, we cool? We cool? Or do I have to slug you?
I'm done.
Anyways, if the Mets can match Pete's deal, can't preach family, then Uncle Steve lets his best nephew walk. Listen, if we can or can't, I don't listen. I'm not really. Again, I've already expressed what the current feel about Alonso is. now when it comes to his market and everything. Right now, it is leaning towards Pete most likely staying. I think that the Mets have the flexibility to do it. I think that they will figure it out. But at this current moment, be patient because they're doing the right thing, being patient, in my opinion. Again. And we'll get into that a little bit more.
And that's why they're going to sign 2 All-Stars. What? It's 2 in the morning. What do you expect? You know the hours. You wanted to do.
I wanted Buehler, but with Manaea and Canning signing, I don't see them adding another rotation arm. I think that the only way that they add another rotation arm is with a special circumstance, and that's more of dumb luck than compared to actually being aggressive. I think everybody knows who I'm talking about in regards to that market, and we actually talked about it last podcast episode, which was actually even more than a week ago. Considering how those winter meetings lined up. So, we are back for our regularly scheduled program later today. Is Tanner Scott still available? He is still available. I don't see the Mets being attached to him. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Tanner Scott is going to be looking for closer money. He damn right should. And I don't think that the Mets are going to be in that market. I don't see that happening.
Jamison Crowder still plays football? That's crazy. Sorry.
Well, I mean, if you're on Twitter, you never know. It comes in instantly. We usually have our notifications on for Jeff Passan, Ken Rosenthal, John Heyman. Do we have Bob Nightingale? I don't even know.
Hell no.
Bob Nightingale.
Fuck
you don't have
no.
Nightingale?
No.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Who the hell wants Bob notifications?
No need to be name calling. All right. No need to just name drop like this.
That's crazy.
No name drop needed. All right.
This guy wants a Bob Nightingale notification.
Yeah, it's definitely cold out here. Let's just say that. It's in Jersey. It's 9 degrees. I don't even know what it is right now in New York. I mean, that's where I am.
I got like 36. Let's see.
You're a little bit warmer. You live in
36.
Buttfuck,
Bumble.
Connecticut or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, Bumblefuck. They're currently at 36.
It's 6 degrees right now.
Hey,
where
it's going to be 66 on Christmas. Nice.
And no, I'm not going to give my address to let you know where I'm at.
Just find James McCann High School. Yeah, just find James McCann High School and then you check him now.
That is actually not correct. But I'm not even gonna refer to that even further. Anyways, here in OKC it is 59. Not bad. Just say that 68 degrees, and I have my own heating and air conditioning company. Nice, cool. I'm from Bakersfield, so Bakersfield, California.
Why the fuck everybody's day?
Well, they're not giving their actual address.
It's just funny shit. Like, oh, I'm from here. Like, all right. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Bakersfield, California. So there's a lot of Raider fans there.
I mean, it's a great day for Raider. Big dubs.
Shut the fuck up. All right,
dude. At least your team has heart. They have competitive fire. Didn't give up on their coach or their GM. Play to the whistle.
You're a Raider fan. Awesome. We are in hell, and it will never stop.
It's okay, guys.
Richard's saying it's in 50s where he's at. Everybody drop the temperature.
What do you
think Santander gets now? I think it all really has to do with what Teoscar gets first. He's probably going to sign first when you think about it. Because, again, Teoscar doesn't have the qualifying offer attached to him.
Nope.
So, yeah. Carson, it's okay. At least you get to watch the Rangers again at 1 p.m. You think I'm watching the Rangers at 1 p.m.? Ain't nobody watching that shit.
Oh, man. How is your world right now? Well, didn't you tweet out that your life was great a week ago? Didn't you
When did
like
I say my life was great?
you tweet out being like Truman's gone, the Raiders have got the first overall pick, so does Ahmed, and look what happened. Back to hell. Sure, Sanders gonna suck anyway, so who cares?
All right. I'll tell you, I know exactly what's going to be happening in that Rangers game, so I'm not.
Dude,
I'm
they're
not
gonna win.
for it. I don't care. I don't care what they do. I really don't.
They're gonna win. Why are you being a fake fan?
Literally, shut up.
Dude, you're literally
All right.
over 500. I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
Literally, shut up. How about that? You're a Raiders fan as well. Nice. I can to be honest, I can tell because M Easy has got some. He's a little. He's rough around the edges. He's been in our chat for a while, and he challenges us. And listen, it's okay if you challenge us. Let's just say that we love to debate. We love to talk. All right. Andrew might block you because he's just a pussy. Anyways.
I mean, think about it. You guys are better than the Islanders. Just second seconds.
Okay. Any chance that the Mets get Bregman and Pete? Listen, I mean, I think Pete is possible. Bregman, it's a different story and a lot longer of a story that I don't think I would like to get into near 3 a.m. On the East Coast. And I'll just save it for our podcast later today. Okay. A little rain since earlier this year. -3. Who's in -3? Jeez.
The guys in Nebraska.
Western Massachusetts. Jesus Christ, man. Wow. Okay. Mets Weekly is countrywide right now. We've got tons of different locations.
Yeah. California people, Massachusetts people.
I'm glad I don't live on the East Coast anymore. Well, I mean, we're a few hours ahead here, so anybody who's on the West Coast right now, I mean, they're just like, I don't know they're at like 11 right now, right? Almost midnight.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, something like that. Maybe 1 in the morning. I don't know. Something like that.
Can't do simple math, can you?
It's 2 a.m. I ain't turning my brain on.
All right, well, I can refer to the poll that we have here in the chat here asking about Sean Manaea coming back, 3 years, $75 million. 91% of you like it.
Yeah.
3% of you don't like it. 6% of you are 50-50. So I'm going to say by mass majority, and it was very, very close. But 92% of you like it, so it seems like it was a good move. Now, what would have your answer would have been when they signed him last time? It probably would have been you didn't like it. When they signed him in the last offseason, you all said, "Nope, Stearns is reaching into the dumpster again. What a bum!" And look at you now. Look at you now. He puts up a good ERA, and now everybody loves it.
Eat.
Welcome to the side of Stearns. He sees things that you don't see. He makes you look like Helen Keller.
I thought it was Anne Frank.
Dude. All right. Okay. I need everybody to let him know as well in the chat, okay? And I'm going to say this vocally to you.
Oh, God. Let's see what we got.
This channel is monetized, okay? It is monetized. There's a possibility it can get demonetized if you keep running your mouth like that.
That's it. It's a historical character.
It may be 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast or 2 o'clock in the morning where you are, but YouTube always sits here watching it like this, all right? You never know who's available.
Hey, Sean Manaea.
The Mets are asleep. Anymore. You never know. They might be asleep. Stearns has been asleep.
Eat. Jesus Christ, that's a long time.
All right. Jimmy coming in here saying, okay, sign Pete. Rotation means nothing if we can't score. Soto was promised a bat to protect him like Judge did. Yep. Lindor, Soto, Vientos, and Pete equals 4 or 5 runs a game. Bregman's no good for the locker room. Let's fucking go. Listen, I think Bregman is a polarizing one. I mean, in my mind, personally. We'll get a little bit more into it. And I also want to kind of maybe... I don't know if... Does Frank want Bregman?
I don't think he wants him if it's 1-for-1. I don't know how he feels about it if we bring them both in. I think he hates the fact if it's one's trading for one. We don't know how he feels about it.
He can't defend himself right now. He's asleep.
He's sleeping. That man is sawing some logs.
What do you think of Luzardo, the Phillies deal? I mean,
it's the best rotation in the National League.
It is one of the best rotations in the National League with that addition. Do I think the Phillies development is good enough to harvest whatever Jesus Luzardo can do and also stay healthy? Probably not, but on paper it is a really good deal. Let's just say
they don't need him to fucking if the
don't
Mets
need him
are
to be
requiring him,
the
they don't
number
need
2
him
in
to
the
be
rotation.
They need him to be a 4. They need him to be better than Taijuan Walker. That's what they need him to be better than. That's literally what they need him. And then
it's not easy to do. That is really not easy to do.
And then you can supplement that with Painter and Abel, and there you go. Like they got 7 pitchers better than anybody in the Mets rotation.
What is wrong with you? Anyways,
it's 3 in the morning.
Richard's saying, I think he really wanted to come back. I mean, to be honest, he was vocal about it. I mean, he definitely was. But you never know. All men do is lie. So you never know. We've seen so many things of guys who are like, oh, I'd love to be back here, and they end up going somewhere else. You never know. But Manaea definitely spoke highly of the Mets organization of what they were able to do for him. That's good. Kenny coming in here? Absolutely. I'm seeing some new chatters in here, and if you are new chatters, I think we have the chat on sub-only mode right now. So thank you for subscribing if you're new. Explosive saying, yeah, he must have an agreement to Sean Manaea coming back. He still needs to pitch more efficiently. I think if they were, again, the 6-man rotation stuff to prevent guys from hitting a wall going into the postseason, because the Mets are always guaranteed to make the postseason. But when it comes to the overall, sustainability in this rotation, I think it's more of a collective unit of like solid pitchers make a good rotation, or good pitchers make a great rotation, and great pitchers make an elite rotation. Like, I think that, collectiveness of guys who are a good fit in the rotation. Again, I'm not going to say that Manaea, not Manaea. Montas, Holmes, and Canning were at the top of my list. But if they're looking at it as a good fit, as well as this pitching market, which, again, I will say it, I think it's a easier bet. It's more of a better bet to go out on a reclamation project than go out and just sign whatever. But anyways, are they broadcasting? I'm just getting a black screen. I'm not sure what you're seeing. I will let you know if that pops up for me.
Let's see. I'm checking it now.
Does that pull up? Let me make sure. Let's see. Guys, let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah, we're good on mine.
We're good. Yeah. We're good on our end. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe you just got to refresh or something. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube did its YouTube thing. Anyways, guys, we're going to be live for about 10 more minutes, and then we'll call it here. Obviously, we have our podcast coming up later on today, which is at 7 p.m., and as well as subscribe leave a like on the stream if you have not already. Don't miss anything with post notifications, including when we do go live like this for breaking news, or we go live for the Mets Weekly podcast. It's available on all the audio platforms as well. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Twitter for updates there as well. Tons of content coming your way. We go where the Mets go, of course. If they want to sign somebody at 1 a.m., here we are. And we are employed to the Mets without them knowing, because I don't think the Mets know us that well. And I'd like to keep it that way because we've said some shitty things about them.
I've never said anything bad about this team. Maybe the front office. The front office.
This is what he does. He hides from conflict every single time when somebody chests up to him. I bet you he flips things around and he tries to get me thrown under the bus. That's what he does. He's a shit. This is all he is. He's a shit. You're seeing it.
You hate Jeff. You want Jeff McNeil dead. You want Starling Marte dead. Only guy I don't like is the front office because they're not real people. They're just nerds. But the people that are on the field, I love everybody on the field.
All right. Who is giving Burns more than 5 years? A team desperate enough to do so. I think that team up north is someone that I'm pointing at to possibly do it.
He ain't going to Canada. Nobody want to go to Canada. The import fee is too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete's not going to be here.
I hope not. I really hope not, to be honest, because then we'll have to continue to restructure the show. So you know what, Pete? Take as much time as you want.
As much time as you want. Yeah, spoiler. Stop. This isn't getting done until 2025. So stop thinking, ooh, and I see these stupid tweets. Ooh, today's going to be a good day to see Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso ain't signed until end of January. So stop. Just relax.
Call him out. Go ahead. Call them all out.
These stupid Twitter accounts. It's like, Pete's not signing. Get over it. It'll be 2025 when he signs, and he'll sign for $7 million because nobody cares and nobody wants a fat polar bear. So it's gonna be a 1 year, $7 million deal because he's got nowhere else to go unless he wants to go play in Hong Kong. No Major League Baseball team needs a first baseman anymore. So 1 year, $7 million. Who says no?
Pretty much, yeah. 158 million was on the table, big guy.
Yeah. It's almost like fat, useless first basemen don't get paid. Oh, shocker. But then we had people saying $200 million to Pete Alonso. That's funny.
There were people saying $200 million to Michael Conforto.
Yeah, dumbasses. I wonder who.
Just give him a 1 year deal and let him earn his keep. I mean, we did give him a 1 year deal. We offered him that, and he rejected it. So... yeah. Gave him
Alonso was a nice guy.
The Kuo. We gave him the Kuo.
Oh, but again, so I'm not. Again, Peter's not on mine. I prefer a much more swaggy first baseman in a
Good
year.
morning, Daniel. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. All right.
I mean, are we sure, Richard? Who's giving? I mean, nobody wants to offer him anything. So $7 million is more than what he's got on the table right now.
Just don't give in to his stupidity, guys. Just don't do it. Just don't listen to him. He's a face. He's a voice. Okay, he's a floating head. All right, don't even listen to him.
I mean,
you're gonna get me killed one day. You really will. I'm not even gonna lie.
How am I gonna do
that? Dude, you're literally gonna say something stupid, so stupid in a video or a stream, and my address is gonna be posted online. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. What? Be like, again, guys, just find there's a McDonald's and then it's like a Burger King. He lives right next to the Burger King. So
he's not, guys. He's not. He really just is not a co-host. It's literally I'm babysitting. I'm just babysitting right now.
They asked me to come here. I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's the only reason I'm here.
I've had a deal with his parents, and it expires when the Bobby Bonilla contract expires.
So he's got
2035. I'm locked in.
Jesus Christ. I'll be dead by then. I think that'd be goddamn.
Yeah, because I would have killed you by then.
Nah, I think Mountain Dew will get me first.
Sean Manaea!
I mean, he's not an ace, but he's nice. All right, I think we've gone. We'll go for another 5 minutes if you guys got any other questions, and I think we all got.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section below. We'll also remind you, leave a like on the stream if you have not already. We hope you guys enjoyed the conversation, enjoyed the chat, the instant pop-up of breaking news that the Mets have signed Sean Manaea to a 3-year, $75 million contract. Most likely will be fully guaranteed unless somebody is saying 2 years with an option. Has that been confirmed?
Nah, I ain't seen nothing. It's just
Nothing
wishful thinking. Yeah, I think it's just wishful thinking.
I hope it is. I hope it is, because if that was the deal, then that is the deal. Then I am kissing Stearns on the mouth.
That's a little sus, but okay.
I can do whatever I want. All right.
I mean, then take the hat off, brother.
Let's see. Not what you want. I said whatever I want.
That's not what you said. You said do whatever you want.
My head is cozy. All right.
You gotta. Are you gonna get a different beanie? Do I need to mail you a new beanie? Do a black one? Do a different Met one?
Well, I have two that I'm rotating in and out of right now. Okay. Maybe I'll add another one. Maybe,
I got you.
I do have a Raiders beanie, but I ain't wearing that shit. I'm burning that shit.
I mean, I got you. I'll get you one of those. You need one of those pom poms on it. You got to get one of those pom poms on it. Terry McLaurin, who cares?
Let's see. Is it
How the hell is there 250 people watching this at 3 in the morning? If I don't have 250 likes, it's got a problem. We're up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That is a great way to promote. That was a really great way. You say, get the hell out of here.
Exactly. We'll go to sleep. What the fuck you watching our dumbasses? Appreciate it, but what the hell are you watching?
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Exactly.
We don't need you.
It's literally 2 days of Christmas. What the hell are y'all doing up at fucking 3 o'clock
just
Eastern time?
I mean, Sasaki percentages. I mean, again, it's basically wherever he wants to go. It seems like he likes Jeremy Hefner. And if he does like Jeremy Hefner, and that's the reason why he comes over here, I've never said anything bad about Jeremy Hefner. But when it comes to
deflecting hate is
deflecting, yeah. Or it's called satire, and he just doesn't understand it. Or we're all tired. Or
yeet.
Listen, I think the favorite, the market right now, personally, here's what I think it is. I think it's San Diego. I think it's the Dodgers. I think Seattle is in there. And I think the Mets are a possibility. Those are the 4 teams that I think. I don't know if it's 25, 25, 25, 25, but you never know.
I'd go 80% Dodgers, 5% Seattle, 10% San Diego, 5% Mets. It kind of like how I felt with Soto with the Mets. If I'm taking the Dodgers to the field for Sasaki, I'm taking the Dodgers. I don't care. Again, yes, they signed Snell and how many more pitchers they need. I felt with the Mets with Soto.
I think the most likely actually is San Diego. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's San Diego.
I don't know. Yeah. I guess, but for one, I guess there is some similarity.
Again, it more has to do with international pool money, actually.
Well,
of who has what. It seems like,
I don't know. Again, it's just, for me, it's the Dodgers until, again, the passing notification. Like, it'd be, again, like, I think Stearns has said it best. Don't expect it. Don't put any priorities in it. They'll be surprised if you get them.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I look at it. Like, I don't care. Like, we could talk about it.
They'll be in
sure.
They'll be in
But,
for
like,
him.
again, it's like you open sometimes it's like when you go to Christmas, you don't expect a damn thing, and, "Hey, look, there's a TV." Well, that's nice. It's a nice surprise. That's how I'm looking at it. It's like he's really not a thought. If he signs, cool. Like, we really have no X factor here. It's just his like I said, it's his decision. So it's like
Yeah. Ken Rosenthal on his podcast said the Dodgers are the favorite for Roque, and then that was what it was really that was
yeah.
expected. That was definitely expected.
But we have Jeremy
Could it
Heflin,
possibly be? Could it possibly be also a Yamamoto situation where maybe it's hard to tell because again, it's more of a minor league, like international type of thing. It's a really rare case right now because he is so young and not really like eligible for a major league contract like Senga or Yamamoto was. So it's definitely a different case right now. I would not bank on it happening. And if it does not end up happening, maybe they do bring in another starting pitcher. Maybe they don't. But I think that Manaea as a 2 to get you to the deadline, you never know. You never know. I think that they're definitely going to target a frontline starting pitcher at the deadline if they're, in that position to compete, obviously. I think that they will be, considering. And we'll see what they do for the rest of this offseason. I think that there is going to be one more hitter brought in. Most likely it might be the guy that we're very familiar with and has been here for 6 years. It's looking like more likely and likely. Andrew calling someone fat. That's really ironic.
fat people can bully fat people. Skinny people can't bully fat people. Only fat people. It's like the balance.
I just call people fat.
Yeet. Ooh. All right. Anything else in the last another minute or two, and then we'll get up out of here because it's 2:10, 3:10 your time, 2:10, and everyone wants to go.
I can go all night, to be honest.
I'm
a partier. You know me.
Partier. Yeah, you go crazy with the beanie.
I am the life of the party.
You definitely be sneaking in like a bong in that fucking beanie, knowing you.
All right. Anyways, we're going to end this one off here. Once again, guys, the Mets have re-signed left-handed pitcher Sean Manaea. We will be back later today at 7 p.m. Eastern time for the usual podcast programming. It has been a crazy offseason so far. Again, it is not even 2025 yet. Offseason still has plenty of hurdles it's got to go through, plenty of work to still do. But the Mets definitely retain yet another key piece to their success in 2024. Hopefully it continues into 2025. We will never know. We'll say goodbye to a few people in the chat here. Shout out to you guys. Richard, thank you for coming through. RJ, thank you for coming through as well. Easy, as per usual. Explosive, one of our loyal viewers. Daniel, as well as one of our loyal viewers. Carlos Ortiz, Fox Racer, some of the new guys in the chat here. Miguel as well. Kenny Fry, thank you for coming in here. Johnny K, Big Meat Pete. Let's see, Robert as well. Evil Zilla. The Gabriel Mendez, who's been in here many, many times. Octavio, some of you guys coming in from Twitter, we really appreciate you. This as well, which again I still don't understand the reference, but pointing up to the sky, I don't know. Again, Sean Manaea is back and will return to the Mets rotation, continuing up the offseason. And we'll see what is next in store, and we will be here for it when the news drops. And, of course, every Monday at 7 p.m. regularly for the Mets Weekly Podcast. We will see you guys in the next one later on today. Make sure to follow us on X, on TikTok, turn on the post notifications, hit the like button, all that stuff. Follow us individually. The links are in the description. Finally, let's go Mets, and we'll see you guys later today for your regularly scheduled program. Peace out.